Mr. Parris, I have taken your part in all the contentions here. I would continue, but I cannot hold back in this. There are hurtful, vengeful spirits laying hands on these children. Thomas, you cannot. And tell Mr. Parris what you have done.
Reverend Parris, I have laid 7 babies unbaptized in the earth. Believe me, sir, you never saw more hardy babies born, and yet each would wither in my arms the very night of their birth. I have spoken nothing, but my heart has clamored intimations. And now this year my Ruth, my only, I have seen her turning strange. A secret child she has become this year, and shrivels like a sucking mouth were pulling on her life too. And so I thought to send her to your Tituba.
What made Tituba?
Tituba knows how to speak to the dead, Mr. Parris.
And it is a formidable sin to conjure up the dead.
I take that on my soul. But who else may surely tell us what person murdered my babies?
Woman!
They were murdered, Mr. Parris, and mark this proof. Mark it. Last night, my Ruth were ever so close to their little spirits. I know it, sir. For how else is she struck dumb now, except some power of darkness would stop her mouth? It is a marvelous sign, Mr. Parris.
Do you not understand it, sir? There's a murdering witch among us, bound to keep herself in the dark. Let your enemies make of it what they will. You cannot blink it more. You were conjuring spirits last night.
Not I, sir. Tituba and Ruth.
Oh, Abigail, what proper payment for my charity? Now I am undone. No, you're not undone. Let you take hold here. Wait for no one to charge you. Declare it yourself. You have discovered witchcraft. In my house, Thomas, they will topple me with this. They will make of it a...
Hey, your pardons? I only meant to see how Betty's doing.
Why aren't you home? Who's with Ruth?
Her grandma comes. She's a little bit better now, but I think she gave like a powerful sneeze before.
Ah, there's a sign of life.
I'd fear no more, Goody Putnam, because it was a grand sneeze, and another like that will shake her wits back together for sure.
Will you leave me now, Thomas? I would pray a while alone.
Uncle, you've prayed since midnight. Why don't you go down and...
No. I have no answer for that crowd. I'll wait till Mr. Hale arrives. Now, Goody Ann, if you will. Now look, you sir. You strike out against the devil, and the village will bless you for it. Come down, speak to them, pray with them. They're thirsting for your word, mister. Surely you'll pray with them. I'll lead them in a psalm, but let you say nothing of witchcraft yet. I will not discuss it. The cause is yet unknown, and I have had enough contention since I came. I want no more.
Percy, you go on home to Ruth, do you hear?
If she starts for that window, you cry out for me at once.
I will, Uncle.
There's a terrible power in her arms today.
How is Ruth sick?
It's weird. I don't know. She's like a zombie since like last night. Betty? Now stop this, Betty. Sit up, now. Have you tried beating her? I gave Ruth a good one and it woke her up for a minute. Here, let me do it. No, he'll be coming up. Listen, now, if they question us, tell them we danced. I told him as much already. And what more? He knows Tituba conjured Ruth's sisters to come out of the grave. And what more? He saw you naked. Oh, Jesus! What do we do? The whole village is out. They're all talking witchcraft. They'll be calling us witches, Abby. She means to tell. I know it. Oh, Abby, we've got to tell. Witchery's a hanging like they did in Boston 2 years ago. We must tell the truth, Abby. You'll only be whipped for dancing and the other things. Oh, we'll be whipped. I never done none of it, Abby. I only looked. Oh, you're a great one for looking. Aren't you, Mary Warren? What a grand peeping courage you are. Betty? Now, Betty dear, wake up. It's Abigail. I'll beat you, Betty. Ma, you seem improving. I talked to your papa and told him everything, so there's nothing to... I want my mom. What ails you, Betty? Your mom is dead and buried. I'll fly to Mama. Let me fly. I told him everything. He knows everything that we... You drank blood, Abby. You didn't tell him that. You never say that again. You will never. You did. You did. You drank a charm to kill John Proctor's wife. You drank a charm to kill Goody Proctor. Shut it. Now shut it. Mama. Now look, you. All of you. We danced, and Tituba conjured Ruth Putnam's sisters. And that is all. And mark this. Let either of you breathe a word or the edge of a word about the other things, and I will come to you in the black of some terrible night, and I will bring a pointy reckoning that will shudder you. And you know that I can do it. I saw Indians smash my dear parents' heads on the pillow next to mine. And I have seen some reddish work done at night. And I can make you wish you had never seen the sun go down. Now you sit up and you stop this. What's got to her? Abby, she's gonna die. It's a sin to conjure. And I say shut it, Mary Warren. Oh, I'm just going home, Mr. Proctor. Be you foolish, Mary Warren? Be you deaf? I forbid you leave the house, did I not? Why shall I pay you? I'm looking for you more often than my cows. I only come to see the great doings of the world. I'll show you a great doing on your ass one of these days. Now you get on home, my wife's waiting with your work. I almost forgot how strong you are, John Proctor. What's this mischief here? Oh, she's only gone silly somehow. The road past my house is a pilgrimage to Salem all morning. Town's mumbling witchcraft. Oh, Posh! We were dancing in the woods last night, and my uncle leaped in on us. She took fright is all. Oh, you're wicked, aren't you? You'll be clapped in the stocks before you're 20. Give me a word, John. A soft word. Oh, no, Abby, that's done with. You come 5 miles to see a silly girl fly? I know you better than that. I come to see what mischiefs your uncle's brewing now. Put it out of your mind, Abby. John, I'm waiting for you every night. Abby, I never gave you hope to wait for me. I have something better than hope, I think. Abby, you'll put it out of your mind. I'll not be coming for you no more. You're surely sporting with me. You know me better. I know how you clutched my back behind your house and sweated like a stallion whenever I come near. Or did I dream that? It's she put me out. You cannot pretend it were you.
I saw your face when she put me out. You loved me then, and you do now.
Abby, that's a wild thing to say.
A wild thing may say wild things, but not so wild, I think. I have seen you since she put me out. I have seen you nights.
I've hardly stepped off my farm this 7 months.
I have a sense for heat, John, and yours has drawn me to my window. I have seen you looking up, burning in your loneliness. Do you tell me you've never looked up at my window?
I may have looked up.
And you must. You are no wintry man. I know you, John. I know you. I cannot sleep or dream it. And I cannot dream, but I wake and I walk about the house as though I'd find you coming through some door.
Child?
How do you call me a child?
Abby, I may think of you softly from time to time, but I will cut off my hand before I ever reach out for you again. Wipe it out of mind. We never touched, Abby.
Aye, but we did.
But we did not.
Oh, I marvel how such a strong man may let such a sickly wife be.
You'll speak nothing of Elizabeth.
She is blackening my name in the village. She is telling lies about me. She's a cold, sniveling woman, and you bend to her. You let her turn you like a... You look for whipping?
I look for John Proctor, who took me from my sleep and put knowledge in my heart. I never knew what pretense Salem was. I never knew the lying lessons I was taught by these Christian women and their covenanted men. And now you bid me tear the light out of my eyes? I will not. I cannot. You loved me, John Proctor. And whatever sin it is, you love me yet. John, pity me. Pity me.
Betty? What's she doing, girl? What ails you? Stop that wailing.
What are you doing to her? Betty! Betty!
She heard y'all singing and suddenly she's up and screaming.
The psalm! The psalm! She cannot bear to hear the Lord's name. No, God forbid, mercy! Run to the doctor, tell him what's happened. Mark it for a sign! Mark it!
That is a notorious sign of witchcraft afoot. A prodigious sign, goody nurse.
My mother told me that they cannot bear to hear the name of the... Rebecca, go to her. We're lost. She suddenly cannot bear to hear the Lord's name.
There is a hard sickness here, Giles Corey, so please keep the quiet.
Now, I've not said a word. No one can testify that I have said a word. And now, is she gonna fly? Because I hear she flies. Man, be quiet now.
What have you done? What do you make of it, Rebecca?
Goody nurse, will you go to my Ruth and see if you can wake her?
I think she'll wake in time. Pray calm yourselves. I have 11 children, and I am 26 times the grandma, and I have seen them all through their silly seasons. And when it comes on them, they will run the devil bow-legged, keeping up with their mischief. I think she'll wake when she tires of it. A child's spirit is like a child. You can never catch it by running after it. You must stand still, and for love it will soon itself come back.
That's the truth of it, Rebecca.
This is no silly season, Rebecca. My Ruth is bewildered. Rebecca, she cannot eat.
Perhaps she hasn't hungered yet. I hope you are not decided to go in search of low spirits, Mr. Parris. I've heard promise of that on the outside.
Wide opinion's been running through the parish. The devil is among us, and I would satisfy them that they are wrong.
Then let you come and call them wrong. Did you consult the wardens before you called this minister to look for devils?
He is not coming to look for devils!
Then what's he coming for?
There be children dying in this village, mister. I am sick of meetings. Cannot a man turn his head without having to attend a meeting?
He may turn his head, but not to hell.
Pray, John, be calm. Mr. Parris, I think you'd best send Reverend Hale back as soon as he come. This will set all us arguing again in the society. And we thought to have peace this year. I think we ought to rely on a doctor now and good prayer.
Rebecca, the doctor is baffled.
If he is, then let us go to God for the cause of it. Oh, there's a prodigious danger in seeking of loose spirits. I fear it. Let us rather blame ourselves, and...
How may we blame ourselves? Putnam's seed has peopled this province. I am one of 9 sons, and yet I have but one child left of 8, and now she shrivels.
I cannot fathom that.
But I must. You think in God's work that you should never lose a child, nor a grandchild, and I, very all but one? There are wheels within wheels in this village, and fires within fires.
When Reverend Hale comes, you will proceed to look for signs of witchcraft here.
You cannot command, Mr. Parris. We vote by name in this society, not by acreage.
I have never heard you so worried on this society, Mr. Proctor. I have not seen you on Sabbath day since snow flew.
I have enough trouble without I come 5 miles to hear him preach only hellfire and bloody damnation. Take it to heart, Mr. Parris. There are many others who stay away from church these days because you barely mention God anymore.
Well, that's a drastic charge.
It is true. There are many that quail to bring their children.
I do not preach for children, Rebecca. It is not children who are unmindful of their obligation to this ministry.
Are there really those unmindful?
I should say the better half of Salem Village. And more than that. Where's my wood? My contract provides that I be supplied with all my firewood. I am waiting since November for a stick. And even in November, I had to show my frostbitten hands like some London beggar.
You are allowed £6 a year to buy your wood, Mr. Parris.
I regard that £6 as part of my salary. I am paid little enough without I spend £6 on firewood.
60 plus 6 for firewood.
Salary is £66, Mr. Proctor. I am not some preaching farmer. I am a graduate of Harvard College.
And well instructed in arithmetic.
Mr. Corey, you will look for a man of my kind at £60 a year. I am not used to this poverty. I left a thrifty business in Barbados to serve the Lord. I do not fathom it. Why am I persecuted here? I cannot offer one proposition, but be a howling riot of argument. I have often wondered if the devil be in it somewhere. I cannot understand you people otherwise.
Mr. Parris, you are the first minister that ever did demand the deed to this house.
And don't a minister deserve a house to live in?
To live in, yes, but to ask ownership is like you should own the meeting house or the church itself. The last meeting I were at, you spoke so long on deeds and mortgages, I thought it were an auction.
I want a mark of confidence is all. I have your 3rd preacher in 7 years. I do not wish to be put out like the cat whenever some majority feels the whim. You people seem not to comprehend that a minister is the Lord's man in a parish. A minister is not to be so lightly crossed and contradicted. There is either obedience or the church will burn like hell is burning.
Can you speak 1 minute without us landing in hell again? I am sick of hell.
It is not for you to say what is good for you to hear.
I may speak my heart, I think.
What are we, Quakers? Ha! We are not Quakers here yet, Mr. Proctor, and you can tell that to your followers.
My followers?
There is a party in this church. I am not blind. There is a faction and a party.
Against you.
Against him and all authority.
Well, then I should find this faction and I should join it.
Oh, he does not mean that.
I mean it solemnly, Rebecca. I do not like the smell of this authority.
No, you cannot break charity with your minister, John. Now you shake his hand and you make your peace.
I have a crop to sow and lumber to drag home. What say you, Giles? He says there's a party. Let's go find it. I've changed my opinion of this man, John Proctor. Now, I beg your pardon. I never thought you had so much iron in you.
Why, thank you, Giles.
It's to just to the mind all the trouble we've been having all these years. Think on it. Why is everybody suing everybody else for? It's a deep thing. It's dark as a pit. I've been to court 6 times this month. Is it the devil's fault that a man cannot say you good morning without you clap him for defamation? You're old, Giles. You're not hearing so well as you did. John Proctor, I have only last month collected 4 pounds of damages for you saying that I burned the roof off of your house. And I never said no such thing, but I paid you for it. So, I hope I can call you deaf without charge. Now come along, Giles, and help me drag my lumber home.
A moment, Mr. Proctor. What lumber is that you're dragging, if I may ask?
My lumber from out my forest by the riverside.
Why, we are surely gone wild this year. What anarchy is this? That tract is in my bounds. It's in my bounds, Mr. Proctor.
In your bounds? I bought that tract from Goody Nurse's husband 5 months ago.
He had no right to sell it. It stays clear in my grandfather's will that all the land between the river and...
Well, your grandfather had a habit of willing land that never belonged to him, if I must say it plain. Now that is God's truth. He nearly willed away my north pasture, but he knew I'd break his fingers before he put his name to it. Come on, John. Let's get your lumber home. I got a sudden will to work coming on.
You load 1 oak of mine, and you'll have to fight to drag it home.
Aye, and we'll win too, Putnam, this fool and I.
I'll have my men on you, Corey. I'll clap a writ on you.